Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at Cisco's Catalyst Center virtual appliance and running it on a mini PC for a home lab environment. We'll take a look at, some of the requirements for the virtual machine and how the mini PC meets those requirements and some of the some of the gotchas and things that you'll have to be aware of if you want to do this on your own. So, let's get right into it. So if we look at the requirements for Catalyst Center from Cisco's website, we can see that you're going to have 32 virtual CPUs, 256 gigs of memory, a minimum 3 terabyte hard drive, right? So a lot of these specs are going to blow some of your home lab systems out of the water as far as, how much compute they have to offer. So I did a lot of research and I can't take credit for this, but there's actually a few good articles out there that make mention of the Minisforum MSA2. So that's what I actually kind of opted to try out and use for this particular case, and it actually works out really well. So let's hop over to the mini forums page. So this is the actual box that I'm using. So it's a Minisforum MSA2. You can see the bare bones, which is basically just the shell, is going to get you. There's not going to be any memory, hard drive, or anything like that. So I went with the bare bones because I wanted to outfit it with as much memory, and I wanted to cater the hard drives to be what I needed, right? So you can see it's the Ryzen 9, specifically the 9955HX, which is 16 cores and 32 threads. And if we go back to the requirements for Catalyst Center, we can see 32 virtual CPUs. So basically, the 32 threads, when it comes down to the VMware installation, it will accept that and it'll allow you to run the virtual machine. So that's good. We can check that off. Now, as far as the memory goes, the website specifically calls out 96 gigs. This box will actually take 128 gigs natively, so you can do two 64 gig DIMMs, which if we hop over to another link I have here, this is actually the memory that I popped in the PC, and it works just fine. So some sites said that when they fired it up, or some folks out there said when they fired up the PC for the first time, the memory had to learn. It had to learn the memory. Mine fired right up. I had no issues with it whatsoever. So this is fully acceptable. Now you might be wondering, well, that's only 128 gigs, and the Catalyst Center needs 256. We'll get into that in a minute. But just know that the 128 gig physical memory in the box will do the job, and I'll show you what else you need to get it to the 256. As far as the 3 terabytes of storage goes, I went ahead and I purchased Samsung's 990 Pro. I bought a 4 terabyte, so you can see it runs you about $300 roughly. It depends on when you purchase it. It'll fluctuate. So not super cheap, but it's more than enough to meet the 3 terabyte requirement, right? So essentially, that'll give you the processing power you need, the memory, which I'll fill that question that's probably floating in your mind. I'll answer that in a minute, and the 3 terabyte of storage space. Now, what I had found out, and again, I can't take credit to this because it was all over the internet, but VMware has their new ESXI is not only free, the 8.0 update 3, which is the one everybody's calling out. The cool thing about this version of vSphere is it runs memory tiering. So memory tiering, if this is a good article, it explains what it is, and I can put this in the description of the video. But essentially, it will allow you to memory tiering over NVMe optimizes, or excuse me, it says it allows PCI-based flash NVMe devices to act as a second layer of memory, resulting in an increase of the available memory within the ESXi host. So what I did was I had a 1 terabyte M.2 laying around. So I put that in the second slot of the Minisforum PC. And when you load VMware, you can actually, with the couple commands, enable memory tiering and then point it to that DIMM or that M.2 drive, and it'll actually see it as usable memory for your virtual machines. So I'll show you what it looks like in a second as far as the ESXi host goes. But those are the three criteria that you need. So essentially, if you want to buy the Minisforum PC, put the 128 gig kit of memory in it, get yourself 2 solid state drives, one for storage, one for the memory tiering, and then you should be able to install VMware. So when you install VMware, so this is the host that I have installed VMware on. Okay, so you can see it's the 8.0 update 3. Right now I have Catalyst Center running, which is why I'm under some load here. But you can see it's the microcomputer MSA2. We can see the 16 cores, right? But it's the 32 threads that really do the trick. But you can see here it actually sees 256 gig of memory. It's supposed to be 256, but this is what it turns out to be. So I doubled my memory just by having that second M.2 drive on board with the memory tiering, which is the powerful portion of, why this works in a home lab. Now, there's one more key piece that some sites don't make mention of. So the 8.0 update 3, it's free, but it'll only allow you to run virtual machines with 8 virtual CPUs, nothing more than that. Well, obviously, Catalyst Center needs 32 vCPU, and so you're gonna need a license on VMware to do that, right? So you're gonna have to get yourself a license to take advantage of more CPU. But here's the Catalyst Center virtual machine. We can see that for a CPU perspective, there's 32. Okay. For memory, it's got the 256. So this is what the OVA will deploy. And this was the whole point of me going through the requirements. I meet the basic requirements at this point. And then for the hard drives, it'll actually outfit 3 of them. But you can see the one is 2.29 terabytes. So hence the requirements there. So that's what it looks like after you deploy it. And then when you fire it up, you should be able to log into the GUI. So I'm logged in as Mogi, right? And I have a full-blown instance of Catalyst Center running. Obviously, it's not licensed or anything, but the point is that it will run on the MSA2 just fine. And after it finally loads, it takes a few minutes to kind of load. It will tax the CPU upon startup. But once it loads and it settles down, you can see if I refresh, I'm about 55% CPU load and I'm 57% memory utilization. So it's really not that bad for such a taxing virtual machine such as Catalyst Center. For this mini PC to be able to handle that, it's pretty impressive. So I wanted to take the time and just kind of show you guys that if you're looking to invest, all those parts and pieces. Now keep in mind the 1 terabyte drive I had laying around, so that saved me a little bit of money. But all in all, it cost about somewhere between $1,500 and $1,600. So if you're looking to spend that, you can run, a virtual machine of this size just fine. This is just what I'm playing with at the moment, but this will obviously, when I'm finished messing around with Catalyst Center, this can be used for anything else, right? So it's a pretty beefy, powerful PC, and I'm very impressed with the performance thus far. So I wanted to just make a video to kind of show, hey, this is legit. Everything you might see out there on the internet, it's actually true. It works and it functions just fine. Haven't had any issues with it quite yet. I don't really anticipate any, knock on wood, but just wanted to share. And, honestly, I'm hoping this is probably going to be the first video of a series. We'll try to dive into Catalyst Center here and we'll go through some of the use cases there. But for now, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was meaningful, and I hope to see you on the next video. So thank you so much.